So, I mean, if I talk about the real estate market overall, clearly the residential market is doing extremely well. I think it's also a reflection of India's GDP growth and the rising income is in India. I mean, what I understand is the multiple of family household income to price of property runs at about 3.3x, which is a very healthy number. Some of the other asset classes that have been doing well are industrial and logistics, as well as data centers are seeing a lot of capital coming in and good demand. Looking forward for the next 2-3 years, I would say that I see office leasing making a good comeback as more and more employees are coming back to the office now. There is increasing demand from companies to take more real estate on. This was reflected in the leasing numbers in the last 2 quarters of 2023. Data center demand, I think, will continue to be healthy. And even industrial and logistics, as we were talking about earlier on the panel, more manufacturing, especially in certain sectors like electronics, EVs, etc., is coming to India. So I think that holds a lot of promise. Long term, we are all dead. But what I can say is, if I look at the next maybe 2-3 years, I actually think there are two trends that will help India. One is many companies in Europe, US, etc., are asking the question that if our employees are working from home, can we get the same job done at a lower cost in places like India? The second part of it, of course, is also that India's technology talent is exceptionally high quality, and it is able to continuously keep adapting if you look at the cycle of Indian IT services. So even things like artificial intelligence, Gen AI, I believe that India will benefit because we'll be at the forefront of creating products around these technologies. So I actually think India will benefit from some of these trends. So the drivers of demand for data center growth are the growth in cloud computing and more recently artificial intelligence and Gen AI. I think that's what's driving the growth of data centers in India. Also, the government has the data localization law, so that's also an important factor. I think the other interesting thing for India has a big renewable energy base which is growing fast, and data centers that are green will have a significant competitive advantage in the years to come. Should everybody be rushing into this asset class? I think they shouldn't, because this asset class firstly has a high risk of obsolescence. The products can become obsolete if you're not building absolutely high quality, high spec DCs. I mean, the good DCs that are getting built in India today are actually having the same specifications as the data centers being built in the US, because that's what the hyperscalers want. So what that also implies is there's a need for much more capital when you build a data center, and you have to be ready to hold the asset for a long time. So which is why I really think this is a play for long-term capital. So for individual or rather for retail investors to participate in commercial real estate investing was always very difficult. You had to be an ultra high net worth individual to buy units in an office and so on. So I think the REIT asset class is very good from that standpoint. Even with a smaller investment, you can partake in the growth of commercial real estate. The challenges to the REIT industry thus far, I think, are more a reflection of the fact that the industry has just taken off and there's a relative level of maturity it needs to achieve. I think the valuations at some REITs listed in the last few years was extremely high, and when COVID hit, the leasing took a major dip. So the earnings growth that investors were expecting did not materialize. I think REIT sponsors need to think about this business as a fund management business and not just as a business where they keep selling assets at the highest possible price. And I think if they can do that, then and create good returns for investors, then this asset class in India is going to grow exponentially.